About getting your sense of smell back with from COVID and stuff, and also practicing for, it turns out, keeping your brain working, keeping your brain function up. You should smell 40 things twice a day.
Well, I mean, when you walk through London, you're definitely smelling 40 things.
Yeah, but on purpose and trying to identify them.
Yeah.
I think it's like learning to use your sense of smell. It's like, say, learning to read Japanese, because
if you're not Japanese,
or learning music, exactly. Learning music is supposed to be very, very, very good for your brain, or learning another language. But say if I'm walking through Tokyo and I don't read Japanese, so all those signs, they're just like. But if I could read them, they would be very, very, very distracting. I'd have to do a lot of work to interpret them all. And if you don't know about scents and you just walk around thinking, no, there's a smell. But if you do know what they are, it's actually much harder work because you are concentrating on picking them up.
That's a really good point. That's fascinating.
I think also like listening to an orchestra, if you've never played an instrument and sat in and listened to everyone rehearse and being in it, you listen to an orchestra and think, oh, that's a lovely piece of music. And if you have studied music, you're doing all this extra work because you're going, oh, flutes.
That's called active listening, isn't it?
Yeah, active listening, yeah.
Right.
Active listening.
So, that is practiced. It's not something you just get. You have to actually practice active listening.
Yeah.
And what people don't do, what we're not taught, is active smelling.
That's it.
People passively smell. But if you do active smelling, it then is maybe sort of 20% of your brain is doing extra work. And if you're thinking about, if you're just basically saying one of your 5 inputs, I mean, there are probably 26 senses, but anyway, a lot of it is smell, but we don't process it. But if we start actively working on smelling things, that is now, research says, quite a nice, big chunky piece of research, not a little one, it says that it can kind of revitalise brain activity.
Yes, build pathways.
Well, that would make sense because I mean, it's like our ancestors would have spent a lot of time smelling.
Yes.
And identifying things.
Yeah.
And some humans still do.
The fruit is good.
And some humans still do. Yeah. That's.
Do you think you have synesthesia?
Cool. I don't think I have actual synesthesia, but I think I've learnt a thing called cross-modalism, which is where, because I spent such a long time learning music, and then I switched to learning sense, they've sort of joined up. So when I smell things, I can hear each one as a musical note, and I know which key it's in. I know whether it's...
so you identify notes with smell. I was going to say, because you sometimes... I was going to say if you get colours from smells.
Only in that if I smell lemon, I think it's yellow.
Right, yeah.
If I smell an orange, I think it's orange. Whereas proper synesthetes would smell lemon and go, well, that's bright blue. What's wrong with you? And another one would say, no, it's red, because they have no control over it.
Yeah, and they have a different... Okay.
Yeah, it's not learnt. Whereas cross-modalism is sort of the learning that we pick up.
Okay, yeah, I think I have that then.
Do you think you've got synesthesia?
No, I think I've got cross-modalism.
Oh, cross-modalism,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what are your cross-modalism?
When I I don't think of music in like colours and stuff, but like I see like not see, but like I sense like visuals. Like I get a lot of visual stuff, like imagery. Like it could be quite abstract, or it could be literally like a scene from a film playing out like in front of me. And I think that is just from learn and like understanding like mood, sounds and moods and feelings, and like associating feelings with sounds. I think that's definitely a learnt thing. It's not like, oh, I'm born and I can see things when I hear music. You just that's how I remember music.
Yeah, I mean
that's how I lock it in.
Opening inner doors.
Shapes.
I would say.
I see shapes as well.
Yeah. I hear when I write. I hear music.
Right, okay, yeah.
So like I hear
rhythm,
styles of music. Yeah, like the Hippopotamus, the book is a punk record. It's like it just sounds like the way that I've written it. To me, it sounds like punk music.
Yeah. I hear music and there's no one there.
But this is interesting though. Is this what it means to be a creative person? Being a creative person finding links between lots of things all the time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's exhausting.
It's bloody, yeah. Isn't it?
I think a lot of it is allowing yourself to open the doors, which as children, they're all open.
Yeah.
As adults, we slam them shut.
Yeah.
So I think allowing them to stay open, that if you hear something, you say, oh, that reminds me of that. And your parents don't say, don't be stupid. Your parents go, that's interesting. You're more likely to stay open with the different connections, helping to create new ideas all the time.
Yeah.
And I think you can reopen them. I think everyone can reopen them.
Oh, well, yes, you just need a bit of WD-40 on the hinges.
Absolutely.
Get those
And somebody
doors
just, maybe give you a key sometimes.
Yeah.
Show you where the door is.
Yeah.
We can get very metaphorical.
Yeah, definitely helps.
Yeah.
Welcome, Francisco.
Hello.
Hello. Arthur, meet Francisco.
All right.
Meet Arthur.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Who happen to have been house sharing for 7 years.
Have we lived together for 7 years?
I think if you include Turnpike Lane, I like to round it up to 8.
Yeah.
Right.
We've lived together for a long time. Almost as long as I've worked for you, so...
Oh, yeah.
Not quite.
Yeah, because I did like 3 months at Turnpike Lane with you.
Yeah, so it's not...
And then
so
it was-
it's a few years.
Yeah.
A few years off.
Have we known each other longer than...
No, I've
you've
known
Paco?
Paco.
Okay.
Sorry,
Sorry.
we call him both
Francisco.
Paco and Francisco.
Yes.
I've known you for
'Cause there's two
for
of
a
me.
lot longer.
Like Nick.
But-
Randall.
Yeah,
Yes.
Right, okay.
A lot
from
longer.
drama school. Because, so
You were there as well.
no,
No,
so
I went
Paco grew up with and was like best childhood friends with Mark, who was in my year at drama school.
Okay.
That's how I know Paco.
Yeah.
Was he at Owen's wedding as well?
Yes.
He was at Owen's wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm
I
getting
wasn't
there.
there, were you?
No, you weren't there. No, but I don't remember which one he is. But never mind.
Yeah.
He's also an actor.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah,
Since you
since you went to drama school. Yeah.
But not everyone who goes. Actually, an extraordinarily high percentage of the people you went to drama school with are actually actors. I'd
That's
say.
true. Yeah, there are. I would say that there might be like 7 of us still doing it, which is enormously high
Yeah.
for 19 people.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Yeah.
What are you idiots
Fools.
thinking?
Absolute fools.
Yeah. They taught you how to hang on in there in the middle of blinking nowhere. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Athleisure.
that's true.
So now you are also part of the.
For 160 Tuesdays.
You are part of the team, and it's unlikely we'll ever let you go, even if you leave.
One's hoping.
Yeah. Some do, and we let them go. Others do, and we never let them go, like
Yeah.
Sophia.
Yeah.
So, and Lydia.
Lydia,
Yeah.
how's she doing?
I don't know. I'll have to find out. But yes, but we won't let her.
She went off to go and do leisure.
She got.
Leisure?
She was studying marketing and leisure,
Okay.
but as in leisure management. But Arthur didn't know. So I watched this great conversation take place in which I understood both sides, but watched the complete miscomprehension in the middle. When Lydia, I said, "How's it going?" She said, "Well, I'm enjoying the marketing, but not really the leisure." And I was going, thinking she's having a terrible time in her social life.
Yeah.
And what she meant was she didn't enjoy the lectures.
Right, okay.
So I let them go for a little while before I stepped in and explained that that's something Lydia was studying as well. But she bottled during her summer holidays. I knew her mum. I know lots of people's mums.
Yeah.
I know Amy's mum. I must meet your mum. It's compulsory.
Your mum
Yeah,
would
you
get
know
on
my
the house
mum.
on fire.
Oh, good.
Your mum gets on with everything.
She does.
That's all right then.
Don't know anyone who doesn't get on with your mum.
Apart from me. No. I
Nice.
get on with it.
So, welcome to the perfumery. I didn't know though that you'd had difficulty smelling stuff until recently.
Yeah, I've not really trusted my sense of smell till recently.
So
Actually, working here has definitely made me think, oh, actually, I can smell more than I realised.
which is a good thing, and also the more practice that you get, we are now beginning to think, does really help your brain to start recognising smells again.
Yes.
So I thought that maybe we would, because you're quite new to this,
Very.
and if you wanted to make a perfume, you could ask me, because Arthur knows too much now.
Yeah.
You could ask me questions about how you go about making a perfume, and then I could say, because sometimes I've forgotten what it's like not to know things, as one does.
Cool. Well,
if you wanted to make a perfume,
what would I do? What would I start with?
Yeah.
Well, in my head, I mean, I don't know if this is the right way, but whenever I smell something, I tend to put it either in like a sweet or a bitter. It's either sweet or it's bitter. Or it's somewhere in the middle.
And the weird thing about that is those are tastes.
Yeah.
So you can taste something sweet, you can taste something that's bitter, but some things like sugar you can't smell.
Yes.
And the bitterness that's in the ethanol, you can't smell that until you've tasted it. Have you ever tasted any of our ethanol?
I mean, I know what it tastes like. I don't want to taste it.
No, it's got Bitrex in it.
You know what alcohol tastes like,
yeah.
But you don't know what perfumer's alcohol tastes like because it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah.
They put Bitrex.
They put Bitrex in it. Deno something or other, Bitrot. I don't know. It's got a name. Yeah, you wouldn't want to.
Do they put that in there on purpose?
Yeah.
Yes.
To stop you being able to drink it?
Yes. And that's for that reason.
It's not what would it taste like?
Alcohol.
Just normal alcohol.
Well, without the Bitrex, it's very strong. It's got a tiny amount of water in it, and it would taste like double strength vodka. Double strength, the strongest vodka.
Right.
So, in order for me to be able to buy it without paying the tax on top, tax that you have to pay for the duties on drinkable revenue, it has to be denatured, so it's got this Bitrex in it, which tastes disgusting, but you can't smell it.
But you can. The smell of it, to me, in my head, goes bitter.
Pass me that. Right. Because I'm being quite technical here. I didn't really need to do that. I could do just
if you
squirted.
soaked it, I mean, yeah.
But no, if I just do a little, it's not going to do it, is it? Why is it misbehaving?
Should we have a taste?
Well, we probably should. But okay, if you're just going to smell that, do you want to
pop a bit on the end so I can taste?
Yeah, I mean,
I will do.
So I can lick it.
It is absolutely.
It's not gonna be
so
bad for me,
bitter.
is
But
it?
it wears
It's
off
horrible.
very quickly.
It's like that nail. It's like the nail varnish that stops you from biting your nails.
It is. That's exactly the same
Oh,
stuff.
it's horrible, and it stays with you.
No, it doesn't. It wears off. It wears off very quickly. You should see his face. Look, it genuinely. It wears off very quickly. It is.
Come watch this video. These mad people drinking ethanol.
No. So,
Yeah, but see, I smell that
honestly,
like a
it wears
bitter.
off.
I think it's.
You
I
think
feel
it
like I can
smells
smell like that it would taste bitter. My brain tells me that would taste bitter, and I know all of these would taste bitter.
Yes.
They wouldn't taste nice, but some of them smell like they should taste nice. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm identifying smell. That's how my brain.
But so
Maybe I should think of it differently. is
No,
what I'm
think of
asking.
it whichever way you like. This is the big problem, really, with. Sorry.
But it's association, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's. I mean, that tastes like orange rind.
Yeah.
But like without the lovely oranginess, it's that horrible bitter undertone of the orange.
Yes. Yeah, it is. It's as if you just ate a kumquat.
Yeah. But what you're doing is associating, aren't you? Because you get a smell which is basically like a flavour, and then you associate it with whether or not that flavour would be sweet or bitter.
Kind of what poppers smell like. Not that I've never smelled poppers. I promise. But it smells like that.
So I genuinely haven't a clue.
Basically, what? Yeah.
Okay. Well, somebody told me that. Oh no, it doesn't matter. Not even going there.
I know what you're gonna say.
About the rose oxide. No.
Oh no, I don't know what
didn't.
you're gonna say.
Didn't know what I was going to say. But I'm going to give us this, and and we've got to wait for it to dry a little while, because otherwise it's what you smell is ethanol. Although this one has been sitting around for quite a long time, so it's
So I
macerating.
smelled it earlier when we were sat here, and it's
All
very.
right. And what is it very?
Oh.
What did you think?
See, I would say that's sweet.
Okay. So your scale is I like it, I don't like it.
No,
Is it
bitter
like-
can be
but you-
bitter can be good.
Okay.
It's not good or bad. It's like I would say that musky smells. Like the kind of the granddad perfumes. Those classic strong cologne-y musky
Yes.
things. a bit on the bitter scale, but I really like the smell.
Okay. But
Do you
this one
mean
find
musky?
More sweet. He doesn't. I was going to do that one, but you'd have like that. I'm going to.
Well, no, but this is important to raise it when we do it.
It is. We're going.
Because I used to think the same thing. Musky doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Musk doesn't.
Because I smell that and it doesn't smell like that.
Oh right, you
So
smell.
why do they? No, but I mean for the purposes of the.
Yeah. So, but this is timber silk, which is by Soe Super to all intents and purposes, which is the Molecular One thing, which people say they can't smell. Did I tell you this stuff? I was in Liberty. I went to the new Liberty department, perfume department. Right, I was upstairs, and
They've got a new perfume thing upstairs.
downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
The downstairs they've got a new perfume thing. On the ground floor, they've got this whole sort of wall of the molecules, eccentric molecules.
Right.
And somebody came in and said, "Oh, which is which?" And the sales chap said, "That one's the pheromone, you can't smell it, all the others are just perfume." And like, this is, what, 10, 11, 12 years after it's been launched, they're still saying
Total
that.
misinformation.
Total misinformation. Because one, you can smell it, because it smells like this.
Timber silk.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because if you're told that you're wearing a pheromone, but you can't smell it, it's like the Emperor's New Clothes, isn't it?
It is.
It's like going, it will work for people. Because they will leave the house going, I'm wearing something that's going to make people look so attracted to me.
Yeah.
And so they're going to carry themselves differently.
Yeah,
they're going to be more confident, more
give them
affable,
confidence.
more...
Yeah.
And then it'll work for them.
Yeah, because they don't worry. They know they smell great. It's the reason people wear links,
Yeah.
also known as Axe. But yes, it's marvellous. And they sold 2 bottles just where we were standing there. So
I mean...
this is the thing. What do we do? Do we? I can't lie about, but I can't say things are pheromones when they aren't, and human pheromones, there aren't any in perfume. But
So
people,
you said if you have to let it dry for a while because if not all you smell is the ethanol. So I'm like, smell it and I can smell like the ethanol smell goes less and less and less. And
yes, and then it just
yeah,
becomes more and more pleasant.
God, that's really nice.
Okay, so
the musky thing, by the way.
yeah.
We have addressed this on thingy. What people mean by that is ambery, right?
Well, I actually think sometimes that when people say something is musky,
They mean musty.
and yeah, and old fashioned perhaps, they might mean
Yeah, that's
that.
But that's
Oak.
yeah.
So what you just smelt then?
I know what this is.
Yeah, what is it?
No, I'm wrong now, aren't I? It's either Galaxolide or Hedione.
You're very close because it's actually ethylene brassylate, which is close to
So,
galaxolide.
so this is the one you
It
gave
is
me
a
for
must.
Ben.
The
That's
second
my
one-
timber silk.
Okay, that's your timber silk. The second one is an actual musk.
Right.
So nice.
That's what musk. That's
Musk.
what, yes, musk. Yes, not a mosque. That's what musk smells like.
I mean, I
in
just
real life,
think
but-
that is one of the nicest smells ever.
It's lovely.
It's nice.
I just want it to be more.
Just a little
Yes.
turned
I
up a
want
little
to turn
bit
the
more.
volume up to 11.
And you
Yeah.
know what it's like? It's like trying to turn. It's trying to like hit the low A on a piano keyboard very, very, very hard to make it go louder. You can't because human brain will not hear it any louder than they can get. It's
Than the
almost
loudest it can
yeah. It's almost off the end. You can make a lot more noise with the middle of a keyboard
Yes.
because we're tuned into that.
Yeah.
The further out you get, the lower the higher.
Yeah.
The longer the wavelength, the less
Less
we
you
can
hear, yes.
actually hear
Yes.
it. So that's like a very
That's
long
that
wavelength.
language I understand. You see that stuff. I understand that.
Yeah, good.
God, I just...
That's why it's harder to mix the low end. That's where the magic is in music.
And what it will do though, it will last. You can just leave it there. That after all the other echoes have worn away, that's still going.
What,
Yeah.
But what percentage is that as well?
That's at 15.
But a greater percentage, you won't smell it anymore.
Not
will you?
really.
Oh, it's so good. Wow.
Okay. Here is another one.
Yeah.
It's good. It's like identify the smell. I mean, I'm not going to know the names, but see that to me is disinfectant.
That's interesting. It does have that effect sometimes. That is actually oak moss, which when you put it with a lot of things, some people think that smells. That's what they would call musky.
Right.
But not to you, because you think it smells like just.
Yeah, it has that kind of strong.
Unless it's the ethanol still.
As it wears off, it smells a lot less than that actually.
Mm. Yeah, because
It
a
smells
lot
more
of
woody
cleaning.
as it goes away, as the ethanol goes away.
My fault. I shouldn't have given it to you that early. A lot of,
Ooh.
the ethanol smells, because a lot of cleaning materials are dissolved in ethanol.
Right.
That you can give these things to people and they just go, oh, hospitals, because it's somebody just wiped down the surface with ethanol,
it's strong, yeah.
like disinfectants.
I'll tell you what that smells like. I think what you mean. I think where I get disinfectant from is to me it smells like Germaline.
Yes, it's the stuff it's the brown stuff in the specific bottle that you get.
Yeah,
kind of
it's like you get in tattoo parlours.
Yes, that's it. It's quite nice. It's not like like Savlon. It's not like antiseptic.
Yeah,
it is antiseptic in nature, but I mean it's like.
It's just made me think about Germaline. What an amazing.
Ooh, that starts to smell.
It might be this. See, I've never been in a tattoo
different.
parlour, so I do not know.
I still think that your idea of if you were to get a tattoo is just a brilliant idea.
What, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5,
just getting
6.
numbers up your arms so that when you spray things on it, you know
tell.
which one
I
it
get
is.
marks.
God, it's so interesting. Like every time I go to smell it, it smells a little different because it starts to dry and.
Yeah.
And it's got a bit of a colour.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it does. It's the actual material is quite dark, sort of brownish, greenish, very foresty. I'm going to try something else on you.
Okay. So that was the mousse. That was the thingy timber. So
Timber silk. Yeah,
that's
oak
oak
moss.
moss. Absolute. Okay.
The soup.
Ooh.
I've gone slightly down a route I wasn't going to go down.
Oh, that's very woody. I like that.
And then all I can hear is Bittersweet Symphony when I say that out loud.
Oh, I'm also getting a little bit of like Frankfurt
Frankfurter.
sausage.
Oh, I thought you meant the city.
No.
I thought you'd been in a room in Frankfurt.
And
And
it's
it
that
brought
kind
back.
of like it's the smell of cooking. That's what it is. It's the smell of a wood burny kind of.
Yes, I see what you mean. It smells a bit barbecuey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, I
this
get
is-
my granddad's. My granddad's
Is
tobacco.
this in everyday parlance musky at all to you or not?
Yeah, I would say so.
So this one is a base, and a base is a very stable blend of things created to smell like a certain thing, but if you use it in a perfume, it retains its integrity. So this is called Cuir de Russie, Russian leather,
Right.
and it's by a company called Cinerome. And if I were to use that, this is at 10% strength. If I were to use that in a perfume, it would still smell like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost a perfume in itself,
It is.
I'd say. But I find this to be, and it has white birch in it, I would bet, which smells like barbecues.
That's that.
I was gonna say it first. I was like, oh, white birch, but then.
Well, I'll just believe that is exactly what you were thinking. It is the barbecuey smell. Okay. This is the one. Remember, we gave this to Roshni, and she nearly had to leave the room. She hated it so much.
Oh really? I don't remember that.
It smells different here than it does right at the tip.
Ah. Ha! You're definitely getting a sense of smell back. That wasn't the area I
I
was
really
going to
don't
go.
trust it. That's the thing. I feel like it tricks me. It's nice. I do like that.
You're going to get you on all the films if you're not careful. We did one with Owen once, and we gave him this smell, and he actually sat there and said, remember when he said it smelt like a sort of a fantasy novel situation in which an army was just leaving a forest and coming out to a lake, and that was the brief for the scent. we just sat there looking at him going, what? And he was like, what? So like, that's exactly what it's supposed to smell like. And it just came out of his head.
That's so
So
cool.
it's great when we manage that, but move until... Okay. So this is sort of what I wanted to talk about, which is the timber silk, the musk. And back onto this.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really smell it.
Oh, I like that. And I know it's gonna. I almost know. I think I know exactly what it's going to smell like when it dries as well.
Probably very much like this. So this is the Ambrox Super. This is at 5% strength. So technically, this is there's 1/3 of the amount of musk that I put it in, but I couldn't say that it's 1/3 less.
So sorry, hang on. So the Ambrox is the actual ingredient.
The perfumery molecule, the material. Yes.
And it's 5% in ethanol.
Yes, so 95% ethanol, 5% the Ambrox.
Crazy.
It's
The actual material must be so strong.
it is quite. Yeah.
It's
Are all the
synthetic.
materials
It's synthetic.
Right. Okay.
Is that, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But then so's the musk.
Wait, is this what you smell it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How long has that smell been around?
Ooh,
That
this smell.
that synthetic. When was
You
it
know
created?
what? I think.
And do they know who created the synthetics? Like, who are the
Yes,
actual people?
yes, they really do, and I would have to look it up, but it's going to be in a book that's just over there, so I could have a look.
That's crazy.
I think.
Because I always just had this. I know that some of them are synthetic, but I just had the assumption that most of the smells that you get just come from nature.
And that is what most people think.
Yeah.
This does exist in ambergris, but this version of the molecule is made from clary sage, a molecule that comes from clary sage, the plant. They can extract the sclareol from it, react it with something else, and it turns into this. So it's
Right.
quite an expensive process.
Right.
Um,
And in some cases, synthetics cheaper than natural, and vice versa, I guess.
and vice versa. Yeah, this is one of the very expensive ones. This would be something like 10, 20 times more expensive than orange, say.
Oh, I love that.
Oh,
That
Yeah.
smells really
It
nice.
really is not. It's not very present for me.
So it's the Ambrox Super.
Mm.
If it's you put some of this into a perfume, it will make that perfume last a lot longer and project a lot further. You don't need very much. By itself, it's lovely. This is the molecule number 2 in the eccentric molecules range. So this is bottled and sold by itself.
I was going to say that I feel. I mean, I'm going to maybe sound silly, but I feel like Issey Miyake has that smell in it, because that is a smell that when you smell it,
Yeah.
it's so big, that smell. If someone walked past you, they can be 10 metres away from you and you know they're wearing it. It's a
Yeah.
very strong smell, but it's like, it feels thin,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
I
it's not
would
like
say,
it's a very thin smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can barely smell that today. That's strange.
There's another one which is in a lot of the Issey Miyake ones, because Issey Miyake did not
That
want...
specific one, you've got it there, well, it's like, I don't know if it's that specific, that one exactly, but
Yeah.
it's blue.
Yeah, that was a limited edition one, which...
Clary sage
Yeah.
is a narcotic, isn't it?
Is it?
Or is it a hallucinogen or something?
I think you're right. Certainly we're not allowed to use much of it.
No.
That's probably... I should check.
Could you make a smell that causes slight hallucination?
Poppers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You could use...
But that's nice.
Probably not legal amounts, probably, but for example, wormwood. That it's a neurotoxin. It's the one that's used in absinthe.
Yeah.
So we can use wormwood in fragrances, but it's limited.
Does it smell like aniseed? Doesn't know it doesn't, does it?
No, not very. It's more. It's actually, I'd say it's more like rosemary
Hmm.
as the essential oil. So this one,
See, I struggle with fennel and aniseed. I feel like they smell the same.
yeah, they're not very different.
Parts of the same
No.
plant, aren't they?
Two different plants,
Are they?
but the fennel seeds look a lot like the same ones, I think. But we tend to use star anise for aniseed in perfumery, which is a different shape.
To
still.
get that smell.
Yeah.
You use sort of,
Whoa,
that's
the
so,
sun
that's so
just came
interesting,
out.
isn't it?
Yeah, sun's come out, we've just blanked. We just turned into ghosts.
Mm.
So this is a material called calone. It's also a molecule, a synthetic, which is in most of the Issey Miyakis, because Issey Miyake didn't want a fragrance that smelt of anything much. He wanted sort of just water, just lightness.
Nice.
But they had to make him pleats, please, to make some actual money. Because
Does that make him what?
well, there's a fragrance called Pleats, Please, which is one of the clothing ranges is called Pleats, Please,
Okay,
because
yeah.
all the pleated clothing. So there was a big pink sort of fruity floral brought out to make the brand some
Right.
money.
Yeah.
Because Issey Miyake himself just wanted fragrances that smelt of sort of nothing.
Yeah.
In the
yeah.
grand Japanese tradition of just having a
Minimum.
just a vague cloud of pleasantness around people. That
Well, I'd
didn't
say
stop
it's
them in
achieved
the
that.
face.
I'd say that's achieved in the smoke. That's definitely what I get. It's there, but it's also not. It doesn't. It's not like dupe. That's like really
Yup.
strong.
Dupe Yorp.
Yup,
We're on
yup.
Yorp again, yes.
Sorry.
It's fine, yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or 1 million. The Baccarat 1 million is so strong.
It's very present.
really
yes.
present.
So this is calone, and this one is used. It's also known. Did I give you one?
Yeah.
Up the right, so to speak. They smelled like. It smells like. It's also known as watermelon ketone. I think it is. Smells a little bit watery. It's used to create the idea, the feeling of being by the sea,
Yes.
sort of.
So is this in what I did on my holidays and
Yeah, it is.
Wash Me?
And Wash Me in the Water, and
Take Me
Warm
to the-
Sand Blue Ocean.
Oh.
And Saltburn Driftwood.
And
Saltburn.
Salt and Driftwood, yes. Not Take Me to the River, actually,
No.
because Take Me to the River is
guess the
less
river's a
about
kind of
actually
water.
being close to the river. It's about being in the basement of an old blues club where you're listening to somebody singing the song.
Ah, okay, got you.
So, yeah, maybe that's why people are surprised when they smell it and it doesn't smell like a river. It smells like.
I did think of the
club.
song, and obviously they Take Me to the River, Wash Me in the Water.
Yes.
I figured those.
That's where they're from, but the Wash Me in the Water is the actual Wash Me in the Water bit. So,
It's very nice.
yes, and again, this one is I think 1950s, 1960s. This one
So-
was invented.
Am I right in thinking that these two smells, so the Ambrox and the Cologne,
Yeah,
they feel quite similar and related?
I would
So
say.
would you use them in a fragrance together?
Yeah.
You
and,
would.
And what's more, I have. Yeah, they're both in Saltburn Driftwood.
Mhm.
I mean, just the two together are actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I think I'll add the Timber Silk. You could make a fragrance. You'd make a perfectly decent, probably tending towards the masculine fragrance, with just the Ambrox, the Cologne, and the Timber Silk.
Oh. But that's not the Timber Silk because that's the
Timber Silk was quite early on.
this one.
I can dip it again if you like. This is why we always write everything down, because you get past 4 or 5 strips, we get lost.
I think that's the Oak Moss.
That's the Cuir de Russie.
Quid de Russie, yeah.
Yeah. Oak moss, you can see that's the coloured one.
That's the Oak Moss,
Yeah.
and that's the Timber Silk, I think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But sometimes I actually need to stop and listen to
Oh, they
before I can tell.
they smell really good together.
You need a little pause while it actually goes up the nose and registers. And it's easier to smell if you close your eyes, because you're shutting out the input from.
And open your mouth.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can do this. You can inhale them and then exhale the smell, and it goes past the.
Well, I do that when I'm
olfactory
tasting
bulb.
stuff. I tend to close my mouth and go.
That's exactly what humans do when we're tasting stuff. That's how come we get the aroma.
Because it's like mostly all here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And that's why
But-
when you lose your sense of smell, people think they've lost the sense of taste.
Yeah, I remember because when it happened, I was just like, we were getting alcohol and all I was getting was the burning sensation of the alcohol, but not any of the flavour. And it was the most phenomenal
weird,
feeling ever.
Very disappointing.
But yeah, I always find that when I smell a perfume for the first time, I open my mouth, and when I breathe in, I allow it to go in through both my nose and my mouth, and I hold it just there between the two.
As long
I
as what you don't do, if you spray it in the air and then go,
you
get a gobful.
That video of that guy talking about how to drink whiskey. You know, when he's like,
oh yeah,
get your nose in it, and he's sipping the glass, and the whiskey's almost going up his nose.
Yeah.
He's going, really get it around.
Yeah, that's iconic. God, yeah.
We were tasting
really nice.
a bottle of wine which apparently cost £300 on Sunday at Nick's family, next to one that cost 30. And the 300 one was from 1996, and we're not sure whether it was supposed to smell and taste like it did, because it was just a little bit like cabbage.
Yeah.
We genuinely weren't sure if it was supposed to. I mean, it was nice. It was kind of had a bit sort of toffee caramel thing going on for it. So French red wine, and the more modern one that was 30. Like, this is not restaurant prices. This is actually gone from the shop prices. So it's like, but I found that I just spent a lot of time smelling them. But then when you add the taste, the modern one was a lot sharper, real sort of astringent.
Yeah.
And the older one wasn't. It was a lot softer and smoother. But you look at the colour around the edge, and
When I have those two, when I smell the Ambrox and the cologne with the Timber Silk, I feel like I can identify the smells better than if I take the Timber Silk out. It's interesting.
Yes, because the Timber Silk is an aroma enhancer.
Ah.
And without you knowing that, you have just worked it out for yourself. And that makes me very, very happy.
Cool.
Yes, that's kind of what it's for. So you put Timber Silk or Isoe Super, which is a version of it, in with your other blends, and it
brings them out.
Yeah. It
makes
helps
them last longer.
as well, but it also helps the brain to notice them more.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's really.
I think I'll take the cologne away. Yeah, so basically what we could do is sit here for days testing them in different combinations and see what happens, which is what perfumery is.
Is this a good test of how it would actually smell to mix them? And would you always mix equal parts, or how does it then work in terms of actually making it?
Okay, yeah, good questions. So because I didn't put equal amounts on each strip, because I just dumped them, it is quite difficult then to get the exact same smell. So if somebody's got them on strips and goes, I want this exact smell, I want it to smell like that, you can take an awful long time to get it just right. And as a general rule, something that smells really powerful, like the Cuir de Russie, for example, say, you'd need a lot less.
Yes.
And you can add in a lot of the musk, which you can hardly smell at all.
Yeah.
So in order to get some kind of a balance, you can. It doesn't matter if you accidentally pour in too much musk or too much of the Timber Silk. If you put in too much cologne, it can really tip it over the edge, like putting too much salt in your soup. And when you come to things that feel sort of equal, like maybe if we took the orange flower ether and the lily bell, they're both quite powerful, vociferous, high-powered florals. One of them could easily outpunch the other one, so you have to be quite careful in how you balance those. But I tend to do something like this. So we have here a vintage, because I get them off eBay, and it's a vintage filter paper. But I'd start just for tests, because you always weigh everything except. But if you're starting out, I'd put a drop of the lily bell on, which you can smell. It's pretty.
Ooh, that's nice.
Intensely floral. And then this one, I should do one for Arthur as well. I should normally try not to blow bubbles through them. And then this one, I'm just adding one drop of orange flower ether. So just let it waft a bit. I'll do one.
That's right. I'll just smell that.
Okay, so that one.
Ooh.
And then, so I didn't let you smell the orange flower ether by itself, but what you can spend months on is getting a balance of two things right. So that's the orange flower by itself.
Oh, I mean, that's got that typical kind of nice orange bitterness to it, but that kind of takes it away and leaves just the orange. Leaves just the j or the orange.
Yeah. So I'm going to put 2 more drops of orange flower ether on, because I think the lily bell is so much more powerful that you might need to go 3 to 1 in order to get equality.
I feel like on its own I can smell the rind, but when it was just 1 and 1, I could just smell the
floral.
Yeah. It's very nice though. I mean, just an orange scent on it by itself is very nice.
So that's.
Have you smelled the orange tree?
You've probably bottled the orange tree.
Yeah, I bottled
it.
Yeah, it smells great.
That does smell like an orange
it's
tree. So yeah, that's. I mean,
I really like the lily bell. The lily bell really kind of brings it out. What is lily? What is it?
It's a single synthetic again. It's a molecule. It's quite a new one because there were some lily materials, Lyran lilial, that have been banned for their skin sensitization. This one, so the big companies thought, well, we better make some new ones then. So they've started making them biodegradable from renewable sources. So that's
3 drops of orange.
Yeah.
And 1 of lily bell.
Yeah.
And then presumably that's just like 3 to 1. That would be the mix. If you like that, you were like that's the
Yeah.
that's the
Start,
balance.
You could do that.
point.
And then that's just, but because it's in ethanol, when it would come to like making, say if you wanted to make a bottle of this,
Yeah.
would you be
Only
using
this. I would.
the raw materials, or would
I
you
would
be using...
use, if I was just going to make 1 bottle, say now, I would probably just make it out of those if I was just going to make a little bottle. But if I were going to do a batch, I would use them at 100% strength, make the whole lot up as concentrate, and then
using
I
the
same proportions.
proportions.
Yeah, because both of those are diluted to 10%, so I keep them equal.
Okay.
Yeah, so
if one was at 5%, you'd have to calculate.
Yeah, you'd have to compensate for that.
That's where I'd struggle.
Well, fortunately, I've got 1 more maths A level than anybody needs, you know? Far too many. So this for me is like falling off a log, so it's, which I actually am very good at. And I've just, for the heck of it, added, so you're being proper Argentinian here, aren't you? So
Well, we are.
with your
We are proper Argentinians.
genuine mate.
Yes.
I've got the straw, but I don't have the bowl. I'll bring my
Oh, you should have said I'd have got you one. I'm
All
sure
right,
I've got one.
next
You can
time.
have. You haven't got the actual.
No, I only bought the
Have
straw.
you got the sherwa? Have you got the tea?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
got a straw.
Sort that out.
It was a long time since I've been. So that, I've added something else to it, which you probably won't be able to tell. Unless you saw me doing it while you were distracted. I did magic while I wasn't looking.
No, I can't tell.
So I added the ethylene brassylate to it. Do you have any idea, do you have an impression of what's happened since last you smelt it?
To be honest, I'm just picking out the lily bell more than anything else.
Yeah, lily bell is pretty powerful. I would probably add lots more things to it.
It's kind of
before
hidden
it'd be
the
finished.
orange.
Yeah.
The musk. I mean the
the orange. Yeah. It is a musk that I added to sort of see what would happen. The musk tends to make things go softer. So I thought I'd see what occurred.
it's definitely softened the orange because I can't smell it as much.
But now, this is another thing, is you add something in, it doesn't necessarily do what you expect. And that is why we can spend forever trying to get the perfume just right. Think, oh, I've got that much of that much of that, then that's going to work. Bring it in, and then you put 1 drop of something else in, and bing, that happens. So, hence lots of experiments. Because it's not...
That's fun though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You could spend...
What were you staring at,
years.
Arthur? What were you, Arthur
The
was staring
Amorous,
at
but I
something.
thought it said underneath Amorous, Martian spaceship.
Oh, and it says Haitian sandalwood. Sandalwood, Haitian sandalwood.
Let's have a whiff.
Okay.
The musk that I always think of is a bit like the smell of the Versace, the green
Blue jeans.
That's the one
yeah.
that I always associate with that kind of muskiness.
Oh, I wonder if there's any in that. That's
Versace blue jeans is
way vintage.
I wonder how many people's first aftershave
they are so good.
They are very good.
All of them smell amazing. They're really good.
Versace blue jeans.
Green jeans.
Yeah, the green.
Okay.
The green one is.
I don't think I've smelled anything with
This
blue
was one of the
jeans.
first perfumes I was ever gifted by a relative.
See, this is it. It's everyone's first perfume.
Yeah.
Yeah, gifted. This is how.
Given.
Yeah. This is how.
Yeah, that's
probably
that's
worth
the
a
smell.
fortune, that one.
That's the smell.
Versace green jeans. Thank you.
It's got the little.
Oh, right. That's a fougere.
Let's have a smell.
It's got the little dip.
Lavender.
It's very.
It smells of lavender.
Yeah.
Here, have that. This is the
See, now you
area.
say that, now I'm like, yeah, it's not musk, it's lavender.
Yeah, let me, I'll dip that.
I
Yeah,
guess
that
really
is so teenage boy to me.
I've actually, I don't think I've ever taken the lid off before. Just a
what is
tiny
that?
little sample. That, would you like it?
It's very strong.
Mm-hmm. And do you mean that in an Italian way or a British way? Because when Italians say that's very strong, they normally mean, wow, I like that, give me more. But the British, when they say it's very strong, they mean, oh, I don't really like it very much.
Yeah.
Now you put me in a position because I don't really want to be the British one.
No.
No, I mean I actually mean it's very strong, as in bitter, as in. But that doesn't mean it's not really good.
No. No.
It's definitely not. It wouldn't be my first choice.
So that is a wood, also known as torchwood, because it sets on fire very easily, apparently. Amyris is an essential oil, and it's made from this shrub, also known as West Indian sandalwood.
Right.
So it smells very much like the original sandalwood.
Because I'm getting a lot of oak moss.
So this is the...
Ooh. Oh, that's.
Yeah. That's your Versace
That's
green
what it
jeans,
Mm.
which I ought to have smelt earlier. Got this in a little chemist shop that still had leftovers.
It's
Tiny
interesting.
little.
It's interesting following Soap Week.
Yeah.
For me, that is incredibly soapy.
Yeah.
Mm. So this is what your Americans would often call a barbershop style fragrance. It's a fougere. It's very,
It's bottled like that as well, I'd say.
yeah, it's very lavendery for me. It's probably got some oak moss in. It's from before that we even had to declare the allergens. It's so old, it's from before 2000. So, yeah, it's quite spectacular. It's got coumarin. It does have musks in it, but it's not that musky. It's quite like the whole 4711 cologne thing going on there. It's got a bit of
It's that colour.
orange flower, I would say. Yeah, it's pretty splendid.
It's really not, and the longer it gets, like the
Goes back, it goes.
it just was so.
Yeah. I'm very, very fond of the baby blue jeans.
Yeah, that's a really nice one as well.
The yellow one, there isn't anything in, but yeah, no, this is...
But I think the yellow one, I've actually opened it and you can smell it.
What's red jeans?
From the.
that one's still available, I think.
Are these not all available? I thought they
No.
were just like.
Baby
No.
blue's gone, green's gone,
Or
Really?
long
I
gone.
thought they were like Versace staples, like they'll always
Discontinued.
make them.
Gone.
Wow.
No.
they're great tubes, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Love a tin. Oof, it's actually red. So, genuinely haven't a clue what this smells like. Don't remember.
And we should also
Smelling it.
smell baby blue jeans as well.
And that
Baby
smells
blue
completely
jeans
different
is-
now, the Amorous.
Good, are we liking it better? I
Oh,
forget.
I like it a lot better.
Good.
See, I would completely write a perfume off if in the first instances I don't get an emotional thing with it, but it's actually
It's best to leave it.
Oh,
wow.
proper
That
pretty
is
floral.
freshly washed hair.
This
that.
is
It
has
is,
got to
isn't
be
it?
This has got to be Gail's one.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
it's
red
woman,
jeans
isn't it?
woman. It says
Yeah.
red jeans woman. Yeah, wearing red jeans.
Yeah,
Um,
that is shampoo. That is.
I had aunties who wore this, and it's just like
Oh yeah.
it would last forever.
Mm.
Because we'd always give it to them from the airport. And
Yeah, it's very
buy the
peachy.
bottles.
Very peachy.
Peachy, fructilated, apple peachy. It's all the fruit.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I'd wear that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say I could see you in that one, but I mean, I could smell
Well,
you in that one.
you said yesterday when you said when you smelt Amber Armour on me, you were like sometimes you smell something on someone because you see them kind of they look like they smell sort of thing. You were saying about a look and a smell matching.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Well, just like we eat with our eyes,
Yeah,
we smell with our eyes.
that is nice.
I don't think that's the thing.
If you say so,
that's
Martha.
crazy.
Yes, we smell with our fingers.
I like to smell with my fingers. That sounds
Sashi
intense.
green.
It's quite
Should we-
sinister.
Should we? Yeah. Should we name a perfume that? With my fingers.
I actually think I'm confusing the musky thing with with the soap.
Ah.
That's the thing. It's that aftershave. It's that your granddad puts on some weird strong aftershave. It's not a perfume. It's not a colour. It's not. It's an aftershave. That's supposed to be it stings.
Yeah.
It's that kind of, and they all have that smell.
Now then, that's very interesting.
So this is the baby blue jeans. So this doesn't say man or woman on it.
And presumably it's not for babies. Although perfume for babies.
It looks very young.
That's a
This
market.
person looks very young. Although they do seem to be having they've got car, so can't be that young. He hasn't got any shoes on.
Wow.
So this is more of a citrus chypre, I would say. Does it say what's, this is way before 2000 as well. It hasn't got the allergens list on at all. So
It's really good.
It's really nostalgic.
this one's gone. Eau de toilette. And it says vaporisateur natural spray. It doesn't. That it sort of implies people think it means it's made from natural materials. It means you've got to pump it with your finger.
It means
Right.
the mechanism.
That's what
of
it
the
means. The
pump
mechanism
is a natural
is,
process.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just get annoyed with the word natural because like everything is natural.
Yes.
There is nothing that you can't classify as natural.
AI.
It's natural.
This is.
AI is natural because it's come organically via us. It's been made by us.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic.
Good. Well, you should try and meet me on the corner then, because this is the. I think this one probably got discontinued before because it's more of an 80s, more of a 70s, 80s fragrance. It was made probably in the 90s and.
I'm smelling that. I'm remembering like Morocco. When I was in Morocco, I don't know why. There's something incensey about it. I don't
It is quite incensey, I think.
Mm.
There's like
There's like
a jasmine
sweetness
to
coming
it.
through. Yeah, there's like a sweetness
Is
coming
there jasmine in it, or
I don't know.
like jasmine
don't know.
incense?
through. Oh,
I'm getting. For me, I pick up lots of citrus fruits. I would say chypre, so it's probably got a bit of patchouli and something mossy and maybe labdanum-ish hiding down the bottom there in the middle. It's probably got a flower, but I don't know which flower.
Patchouli,
have you
definitely.
ever tried to like smell something and then see if you can remake it in a moment?
Well, there is
Yeah.
a story about this.
What?
Well, I mean, there's a good anecdote. I don't know if you're allowed to tell it.
I don't know.
Making the perfume for Steve Tyler. Of Aerosmith.
The Steve Tyler one. Oh yeah. Well, there's a fragrance which is long since disappeared, which apparently Steve Tyler wore, and a friend of mine used to wear it as well. She asked me if I could try and make it. I didn't quite manage it, but I think I can now because I think what my version was missing was the Cistus SEV. I didn't know until I smelt Cistus SEV because I made it with labdanum, which is from the cistus plant, but it didn't quite have the richness and the power and the length. So in fact, I opened the email today, which is in drafts, that says, "Hi, I think I've almost cracked it. and that was about a year ago, and I've forgotten to make it. So thanks for reminding me, because since that's popped up twice in one day, I think that's telling me that I have to finish it off.
Yeah, I think so. And also, it just reminds me of when he's, oh, you need to remake it for me, because since this has been discontinued, just girls aren't interested in me anymore. Like, I think it might have something to do with the fact you're 112 years old. Maybe. I don't think it's the perfume.
He has publicly said that he felt that his he was more successful. He was instantly successful with women when he was wearing that particular fragrance.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't say that's ever happened in my life.
Oh,
Maybe I just haven't found the right fragrance.
The thing is that if you also happen to be a famous rock star,
That probably helps, right?
and you are wearing the fragrance, I don't think you can pin it just on.
people go, oh, you smell nice, because they don't want to mention the fact that, oh, also you're Steve Tyler of Aerosmith.
Yes, no, just why you smell good. Like it's the perfume that's doing it. Yeah, I'll have another crack at that. But yeah, that's how perfumers are trained. It's like, one, they use the machine to see how perfumes are made, but also the old school really was smell something, and I don't have to know exactly what's in it in order to make something that smells
Like
in that region.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what, playing about with these things for lots of years gives you. That you can go, okay, I think I can get there even if it's by a different path from the one that they took.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a cover version.
Yeah, yeah.
You're in the right,
As
so
long
you
as
can be in the same key. People
Yes.
will connect the pattern, the melody pattern, because it's kind of built in us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do steer away from cover versions.
No, yeah, but I mean, when you make it your
me.
own, right?
But yeah, when I make
Not
my
a straight
own.
cover.
Yeah, exactly. If
Cover,
somebody says, "Oh, can you make me one of these?" I go, "No, it's honestly genuinely cheaper to go to Boots and buy it, just rather than to get one person to try and remake something for you." I don't really like people stealing other people's ideas. When something is long gone, they can't get it, and they really, really want it. I have occasionally... Okay, I swapped this woman for 2 films. She's a filmmaker, so I didn't just do it. I swapped.
Also, it was quite a fun little project because it's
was.
discontinued. It's like it's not like, oh, can you make me dupe?
Yeah.
It's like, can you make this thing that was being
Can it make
discontinued?
me a dupe of Job, you mean?
A job, yeah. But it's like, and that particular fragrance that you were remaking is borderline mythical.
Yes.
So
What was it? Can you say?
I can if I can remember.
Oh.
It's
Steve Tyler's Love Juice.
Norma Kamali's Incense.
That's the one.
Steve Tyler's Love Juice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Norma Kamali Incense. That's what it's called.
Love juice. That
Sorry.
sounds gross, doesn't
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's
But I
not
love
really,
it.
it's not really what it's called.
love
But yeah.
Um,
yeah. Right, we've got to stop. Arthur.
Yeah.
We've been going for hours.
Yeah.
I think. Well, so we might do this again then.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was really fun.
We've covered everything.
In Steve Tyler's Love
Nice.
Juice.
That Amorous is so different now.